his way and picking the holes to 6.
Your second offensive possession turned out to be an efficient 67-yard scoring drive that was triggered by an 18-yard pass on third down to Amir Carlisle.
That was a huge drive for us, but the third down conversion I thought was excellent because they were so good on third down. Their third down percentage in terms of success ratio was very high. So I thought we were pretty good on Saturday in terms of our third down conversion, and that was a big one for us.
Kaiser did a great job on the 12-yard touchdown run.
It was a counter play. I thought it was blocked very well. Our receivers blocked well. Running back Josh Adams got out and blocked, so we had very good blocking in the perimeter, and he was able to get in the end zone untouched.
And right after your touchdown, the defense scores on the pick 6 by Andrew Tremblay.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where we got some great momentum there. Andrew picks it out of the air and runs it in. He was a really good athlete in high school. He actually returned kickoffs. He reminded me he still had a little bit of speed in there, so it was nice to see it. And it gave us a good cushion there at 14-0. We felt pretty good that it was going to be hard for Wake Forest to mount a comeback.
Now, your victory over Wake Forest will forever be remembered for Josh Adams' 98-yard touchdown run, the longest play from scrimmage in the history of Notre Dame football.
Yeah, anytime you say the history of Notre Dame football, that's rarefied air. And we ran an inside zone play that he was able to get through a little bit of a crease, ran through an arm tackle, and then his own stiff arm was probably, he'll go down in Notre Dame lore as probably one of the great stiff arms of all time, and then got some great blocking downfield, and the rest was Josh Adams racing to the pylon.
It was pretty obvious that Wake Forest was keying on Will Fuller, that they made a decision he wasn't going to beat them, and yet your last scoring drive was highlighted by a big 22-yard catch by Fuller.
We got into a 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends, which you really can't double them in that situation, or you're going to give up too much in the running game. And this was a great opportunity for him to get downfield one-on-one, and made a nice throw and a nice catch to really set up our last score.
And Deshaun showed great patience on that last touchdown run for him. And it takes a certain poise to show that much patience, because if you wait too long, they're going to light you up.
Anytime that you get that kind of read and what we call ride up inside by the fullback or the tailback in this instance, and pull it, it's just very difficult to stop it.
And O'Gore is there.
Who stood out for you on defense yesterday?
Well, the normal cast of characters. I think you'd start with Sheldon Day, Jalen Smith. Both those guys were outstanding again. Romeo had a couple of sacks, and I think our secondary played much better. I thought they did a nice job.
When you talk about Romeo, here's a young man who in your last 5 games has 8 sacks and actually 3 yesterday. What has been the trigger to his effectiveness getting to the quarterback?
He's growing, he's maturing. I mean, he was a young guy when he came here, very raw as a player. I just think, learning the position, I think Coach Gilmore's done a great job in giving him just 2 things to work on, not having a bunch of different pass rush moves. I think that development is just happening in front of our eyes.
The 2015 Notre Dame football team is having one of the most productive offensive seasons in Notre Dame history. The numbers against Wake Forest were not big. Is that a concern at all for you?
No, I mean, again, we only had 49 snaps. I think if you look at the number of snaps that we had, I mean, that's probably about what you would have offensively. I think there's probably a couple of things that we'll do a little bit differently, but there's nothing that concerns me about what we're doing offensively. We'll probably go back and look at a couple of things that we probably should have done differently moving forward.
But maybe the most important thing your offense did against Wake Forest was not turn the ball over. You've never lost here as a coach when your team hasn't turned the ball over.
Yeah, I wish we could duplicate that each and every week. Deshaun is obviously very aware of turnovers and how they can adversely affect what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. But he threw the ball away when he needed to. He was very smart with the football. Another game like that is just goes to his maturity as just an 8-game starter. It's just amazing.
There have been 3 undefeated home seasons in Notre Dame football in the last 26 years, and 2 of them are in the last 4 years. What does that say about both this year's team and this program right now?
We clearly have established a consistency within our program in terms of protecting the house. Our kids understand the routine. You have to protect what's yours, and our guys really take that seriously.